In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the 68, 95, 99.7 rule to find various percentages. So the first thing we're going to do is start by noticing that it's normally distributed, the mean is 80, and the standard deviation is 5. I'm going to then draw a picture of just a normal curve. It does not have to be perfect. I'll mark the mean in the middle. You have to excuse me because I am drawing with a mouse at this moment. And then we're going to count up and down by the standard deviation. So about here might be 80 plus 5. And then about here might be 80 minus 5. And so this marks the middle 68% of the data. And so I look at the question and we can go ahead and answer the first question. The percentage of scores less than 80 is the halfway mark. Since it's symmetric, the mean and the median are both equal. So 80 is the median, which means this answer is 50%. Even without drawing the picture, we could get that just by knowing that the mean and the median are 80. And then the percentage of scores greater than 85, which would be the percent that is in this area, is what percent? Well, if we know that this piece is 68, and we know that 100% is under the curve, then we know 100 minus 68, let me go ahead and do this, 100 minus 68 is equal to 32. That is the percentage that is in these two areas here, this one and this one together. So 68% plus these two ends is 32%, gives you the 100%. But we only want one of these sides. We don't want both of them. Both of them are 32. Well, since it's symmetric, this side and this side are exactly the same, so we just divide this 32% by 2, and that gives us our final answer of 16%. So 16% is the number that goes here in this answer blank. The percentage of scores that are greater than 85 is 16%. Because notice, 16%, another way of looking at it. This is 16. This one is 16. 16 plus 68 plus 16, that gives us the full 100. Okay, and then the next one, the percentage of scores between 70 and 85, we need to do a little bit more work. We need to go down one more standard deviation. So I might draw my picture again since I've written on this one so much. So I draw my picture. I know my mean is 80. And then I know my sorry about that. I know that this number up here is 85 because we go up one standard deviation. And then if we go down one standard deviation, we're at 75 because that's 80 minus 5. And then if we go down another standard deviation, we're at 70 because it's 80 minus 70, or 80 minus 5. 75 minus 5. And then if we go up one more, we're at 90. And so this is probably far enough for us to go. And so now I have these marks for where 75, 70, 85, and 90 are. And again, this does not have to be perfectly drawn to get the idea. All right, so 70 and 85 is what we're looking for. So we need to cut it off here and here, which is not symmetric. So we're looking for this space in between. What percentage is this? To get that, I need to know, first of all, this value between here and here, we know based on the 68, 95, 99.7 rule, between one standard deviation, we have 68%. 68%. Okay, so this is 68%. Now, if that's 68%, then we know that this piece is 16%. Okay, this may or may not help us, but we'll go ahead and mark that. How do we know that? From the problem that we just did, right? And so we know that this little tail over here is 16. Now what we don't know is we don't know what this piece is yet, because we know all of this is 16%, but it's kind of lopsided here. So what I need to do is go ahead and find what we're looking at if we go from here all the way over to here. So notice that's within 1, 2 standard deviations, 1, 2 standard deviations, and according to the empirical rule, if we're within 2 standard deviations of the mean, we're at the 95% mark. Okay. All right. So here we go. This is 95%. But all we want is this piece. So we have 95, and we know this piece is 68. So one thing we could do is we could say 95% minus 68%, and that's going to give us this piece and this piece, right? 95% minus 68% is going to give us these two pieces right here. Okay. Now, 95 minus 68 is equal to 95 minus 68, 27%. Oops. Now, remember, we only want one of these because the picture that we need is between 70 and 85. So let's redraw this. 70 to 85 is right here. So we need 27% is these two. We only need half of that. So this gets a little bit hairy. So divide that by 2 and we get 13.5 equals 13.5%. Okay, now this 13.5% is going to be this piece. right? This 13.5 and this 13.5 and this 68 all equal 95. Let's double check that. 13.5 plus 13.5 plus 68 equals 95. Okay, now we're ready to actually get the answer. The percentage of scores that are between 70 and 85, between this number and this number, is going to be the 68, which is here, plus the 13.5. 68 plus 13.5, 81.5%. Okay, so that's going to take some practice to get used to doing that. There's a lot to it. Drawing the picture and understanding where all of these lines are happening is very, very crucial. Let me know if you have any questions.